Hello everybody, welcome to Dakman Productions and welcome to Kanahei Rail. So, for me, I'm at the end of my train show season until it starts back up in October. There is like one or two in the middle of the summer. So, I'm still working on getting Kanahei Rail up and running. So I had to have my heater replaced and the AC system replaced at the same time, so I had to tear out a 6-foot section of the layout, and thankfully I made the layout by the heater that would be easily removed in case anything happened to it, so at least I had some foresight to design it so I could take it out if I had to, which I did. So still have not reinstalled that yet because, as you've seen, I've been pretty busy with shooting videos at other places. So, yeah, I'm still making a promise of getting everything back up and running again, but it just seems like something else happens. We got to tear something else apart. So I have not run anything on Kanahei Rail, I think, since November, but last year. But we'll get there. Planning on making a Penn Central video and talking about that, and then Conrail takes over Penn Central video after that, and then who knows what goes on from there. So those are the plans. Got a couple other things that I'm working on, but I'd rather not say what it is in this video just quite yet. So what is today's video? Well, for those of you who watched the live stream from the YouTube meet and greet, you'll see that we were at the YouTube channel is there that were me, Chris's Trainz Things, RJ's Trainz, and Sid's Trainz. They were asked questions, so I figured I would answer those questions here on the Dakman Productions channel. So one of the things that I did take note on from last year's meet and greet at the fall TCA show, I remember JD Stuck saying that he decided to start writing scripts so we keep them on track and keep them from, you know, pausing and stalling and stuff like that. I decided to do the same thing for this video. And believe me, writing a script is a lot of work, it seems like, and yeah, I still handwrite stuff instead of type. Probably would have been easier typing on my computer, but hey, I'm old school. I'm old-fashioned. This is what I grew up with, and that's what I continue doing. Heck, I still use an alarm clock instead of my phone. So, yeah, I'm really old-fashioned. By the way, for me, I have a tendency, I noticed, to repeat myself. And a few viewers have pointed that out, and so I figured JD Stuck's idea of a script will keep me from, not only on a timeline, but keep me from repeating myself. The only problem is he can do his script off of memory. I'm too old for that. I would not make a good Hollywood actor. I would probably need big cards so I could read my lines. So you'll see me holding this paperwork is basically what I'm saying. Alright, so here we go. These were the questions that were asked during the YouTube meet and greet. And I'm going to throw in my own question that you guys might be interested in. I think it's a good question. So let's get started so this video isn't an hour long. So introduction. The introduction was, give us a short explanation about your YouTube channel. Okay, so for me, I said I got into Lionel in 1976. My first set I got at Christmas time, and I continued with that during the MPC era. I went from 027 to O-Gauge in 1981. From 1987 to the year of 2000, I got out of Trainz for a little bit, went into drag racing, car shows, that scene, had a ton of fun, had some fast cars. I had a trophy-winning car that the car shows, won national events with it. So I got back into the model train scene in 2000, but in the G scale. I was G scale from the year 2000 to 2015, and then I got back in O-Gauge in 2015 because G-Scale just didn't have the stuff that I really wanted. And so I decided to start a YouTube channel in 2010 to promote the model train hobby. Okay, so that was the introduction. Now we take questions from the audience. So here's the questions that were asked that I'm going to answer. What do you use to edit your videos? Now for me, I use a combination of a camcorder and a cell phone, because I found that for me to get the different angles that I want to bring to my videos that everybody seems to enjoy, I have to use a combination of my camcorder and my cell phone, depending on what I'm shooting. So I've gained enough knowledge and experience to know which one to use at what time. However, you know, I use a program called Power Director, and I highly recommend it. I believe it's a pretty reasonable program. You're looking at about $130 for it, but you get a lot of free upgrades with it. A lot of free things come with it. You can put a picture into the video. You can do a video in video. There's a lot of things you can do with Power Director. One of the things I like to do, which I get those nice side shots that everybody seems to enjoy, but you'll notice there's Lexan glass on the other side. Well, that's because I take my my monopod, my camcorder, and I take it, I turn it upside down on the other side of the train, so I can get those side shots. Well, the Power Director program will take that video footage and turn it right side back up again. So Power Director is a very great program. And no, I'm not being paid to say that. What is your favorite video that you have uploaded? Bar none, it was from the old train farm where Harry Henning was running steam locomotives onto his new Millhouse River turntable and then loading them up into the roundhouse. Now what had happened, that was during a open house on the old train farm. They were having electrical issues in a lot of the track sections. The turntable was the only thing working at the time, so I decided to focus on that. And that video did really well. I believe that video has right around, I checked it, and I believe it has right around 70,000 views. Not bad for a open house that he thought failed, but it actually, video-wise, it did really well. Another great question from a viewer: how long does it take to do a video? Wow. Okay, no problem. So I'm going to use the Greenberg Edison show as an example. So my day starts at 5 a.m. in the morning. I get up, I do my thing, get to a Wawa, fill up the gas, get a little bit of breakfast, the orange juice, and I get to the Greenberg show. It takes me about 2 hours. So I'm arriving there at about 8 a.m. The show doesn't open until 10, but in order to get a good parking spot, to get some outside shots, to get that introduction, hey, this is Dakman at the Greenberg show, I get there early, and then I stand in line, you know, an hour before the show opens, so I'm not all the way in the back. And so I spend my time there from 8 a.m. all the way till show closing, which is right around 4 p.m. Another 2-hour drive home, which is 6 p.m., but I do stop and grab a little fast food lunch/dinner, whether it be at Wendy's or McDonald's, and I eat on the way home. So when I get home at 6 p.m., I can sit down and organize my files, my clips that I took, which takes about another hour. So now we're looking at 7 p.m. And then from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. I'm creating my first video, and then from 10 to 11 I review it, and 11 I go ahead and upload it on YouTube. I let it upload on YouTube, take a shower, and hit the bed. So yes, I spend a lot of time doing this, only to wake up the next day, because if I have more than one video that I want to get out, and generally speaking, my viewers want to see at least one video from the event the next day. So I try to get that out there. So I may aim for something that's easy to do and easy to get out first. And then I'll go after the other videos as well. So then I'll wake up Sunday at 6 a.m. and depending on how many videos there are, I'm working on videos up until 12 noon. And then after that, I'm power slamming through the house, doing my laundry, doing the dishes, getting a real lunch, and then preparing a real dinner. Because I got life. I'm not retired. I still work for a living, and because I'm a diesel mechanic. So, yeah, this is a lot of work. Next question: when you first started, did you ever think your channel would get this big? I had no idea how big my channel was going to get. As people realized, I talked about this before. I started off as E&D Train Man about 2008, 2007. Decided to kill that channel because I was doing so poorly and I wasn't very good at it. And then gave it another shot in 2010, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and met a wedding photographer, and he gave me a lot of good advice and stuff, and he really helped me out in how to do different films and shoots and angles, and he talked about different motions and stuff like that. And so yeah, it was a real learning curve, and I still learn things and experiment. I'm not afraid to experiment. Some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. I've had people, tell me, hey, why don't you get a gimbal? It's like a gimbal's good for certain things, but it's still clumsy to me. And some people can't believe that I get the shots that I do while I'm walking and following the train along without a gimbal and still have a good steady film, or a steady shot, I should say. And, especially the shots that I get in the front without using a camera car. So when you're working out in the public on a club layout, you don't have all those luxuries of being able to use a camera car or getting a gimbal into where you got to get a good shot. And so I've learned how to steady my hands doing different things. It's all been a learning experience. But getting back to the question, no, I did not think that I would be almost at 12,000 subscribers. Right now, I believe I'm at least 300 away from 12,000 subs. I didn't think I would get that far. People have watched 450,000 hours of my videos, and it just blows me away. And about 3 or 4 weeks ago, my channel has passed 5 million views, and I thank you for your support and watching my videos for the model train hobby. And most of you will know or seen that, even though I'm an O gauge person, I still try to include HO and N and even Z. I've included S gauge, O scale 2 rail. So I shopped quite a bit of different scales and gauges of trains. F scale, for those who are not familiar with what F scale is, it's 120.3 that rides on basically gauge 1 track. And it's been a great experience bringing these different type of model train scales to everybody who's interested in them. And I met some wonderful people by expanding myself beyond O gauge. I met great HO people, great HO clubs, great N scale people, Z scale. I met a lot of great people, clubs. It just blows me away that the amount of good people I've met in this hobby and other scales. So I'm just happy to keep bringing the viewers like you these other scales besides O gauge. Now, of course, when I'm during the summer, I can only bring in O gauge. But when I go back to the train shows, I'll bring back video footage of O-gauge, HON, and all that fun stuff again. And I thank the clubs and the club members for, I even had offers from HO clubs to come and run with them, and they would even give me a train to run on the layout. It's just, it's been an exciting, I just never thought I'd be here, you know, doing official videographer, getting behind the scenes with clubs and running with them. It's just opened up so many doors for me, this channel has. And it's just been real exciting for me. So the next question is, what are you excited to look for in the future? And my answer to that is, in 2012, Lionel introduced the GP35. So when they made the Conrail version, they sent it out to customers without checking them. So when the people who ordered them, pre-ordered them, opened up their locomotives, they were quite shocked. Because when they arrived, the Conrail GP35s, Lionel actually forgot to pad print the Conrail logo on the sides of that particular locomotive. So the only thing that had the Conrail logo on it was the nose. That was it. Everything else is just plain blue. So I would love to find that locomotive without the name on it. I think it would be a great conversation piece, a great collector's piece, and a great piece that has history behind it. Oddly enough, I just think it would be cool to have. Now, I did make a video of this. Lionel did actually come out with a body replacement, which has the Conrail logo on it, right there. So, even if I was to get the one that doesn't have the name on it, I don't think I would do the body swap. I think I would keep it separate and show people, hey, this is what happened. This was Lionel's correction. And, you know, just something to talk about, history. It's just, I know it probably sounds insane to some people, but I think it would be cool to have. And this shell replacement is all pre-wired and ready to go. It has all the plugs in it. Has it's just ready to roll. It has all the lights. So I'm going to probably not do the body swap if I did find one. So please, if anybody has any leads to a Lionel Legacy GP35 Conrail unit that does not have the name on it on the sides, give me a yell on my email. I'll leave my email in the description of this video because I would love to add that piece to my collection. Next question was a simple one. What is your favorite railroad? Everybody knows what Dakman's favorite railroad is. Conrail. And I'm not going to get into why because I've already covered that in several other videos. So we'll move on to the next question. What advice would you give yourself if you were starting over again? Well, for me, that's an easy one. I pretty much Kanehei rail layout was all freeform. It was just no plans. I didn't write nothing down. I didn't use no programs, nothing. It started off as an L-shaped layout, which was 4x8. So I believe it was 8 feet long this way, and another 4-foot section here to make that 8 foot. So it was just a basic, simple L, and I just kept adding pieces together and expanding. The problem with that is, you know, because I didn't make any plans or any drawings, or I didn't even think about what I wanted. So at that time, when I first started in 2015, I was running conventional. I actually started off running my dream set in 2015. This 1987 Conrail Limited set was my dream set that I couldn't afford in '87 because it's super expensive at that time, it was like $400 in 1987. That was a lot of money, let me tell you, because I was just out of high school when this came out, and $400 was a lot of money back then. I couldn't afford that, but I could easily afford it in 2015. Grabbed it, and finally got to run the standard O set, and running conventional. I didn't think I'd be running legacy. And because I had no plans at all, you know, I'm making changes, sitting back, and I'm like, okay, well, let's make the curves bigger. Because I hand bent 048 curves, thinking that would be it. But then I wanted 12-wheel drive Conrail locomotives, you know, like the SD 40, the SD40-2, the SD45. They're all 12-wheel drives. They all have flanges on them, unlike the MTH Premier. So the Lionel Legacy locomotive, 12-wheel drive locomotives, have flanges on all their wheels, on all 12 wheels. So they need 054. So I had to revamp the whole layout to 054. Luckily at the time it wasn't much bigger. So when I revamped it, I made it bigger, added to it. And it was a lot of work. So every time I made changes, it was a lot of work to go back over and do it over and over again. So my advice to myself would be, sit down, think about what I want to run, plan it out. There's nothing wrong with making something a certain size. In other words, you don't want to go too big at one time, because then if I don't have any trains running, I would get bored and give up on it. So I needed trains running all the time, which is fine. So you build something a certain size, but keep in mind to make it in a way that you're planning on to expand in a way that stays close to your plans without having to go back over it 2 years later and rebuild everything over again. I went from 054 track to a single 054 track, then I went to a double main line of 072 and 054, then I redid it again with 072 inside, 080 outside. So yeah, I would have to say, sit down, plan out, think about what I wanted to run, and then go from there. Me and Stu were actually talking about this, and he brought the question up because he found it interesting. So what is your percentage rate of subscribers versus non-subscribers? So I would say the 70% of the people who watch my videos are non-subscribers. Yes, the ratio is that high. And he found, it blew his mind. He found that very interesting. And it's not really uncommon. A lot of YouTube channels will tell you that the ratio of viewers who watch their videos are non-subscribers. And I've met people in person who explain to me why they don't subscribe. Some of them are afraid of notifications interrupting them, which you can, you know, pretty much change your settings on if you want the bell to ring. Some viewers do, some don't want that bell, or it'll send an alert to your email. Some people don't want their email all junked up. But for the most part, a lot of viewers told me they just like to remain private. They don't want to subscribe, and a lot of them don't want to comment. They just want to sit back and watch videos. And that's okay with me. That's perfect. I'm not going to push people into subscribing and pushing the notification bell, which is why you don't see me saying that in any of my videos. Other people that I have interviewed have said that for me, but I try not to be too pushy about it. I just, if you're watching my videos, if you're viewing my videos, I appreciate it, and that's good enough for me. If you want to subscribe, fine. If you don't, that's okay too. As long as you're still watching, my channel does well. The other thing that does well for a channel is if you decide to press the thumbs up. That does help out a channel. So between watching it and pressing the thumbs up button, both of those things are what brings the video up to the YouTube algorithm. It's not about really, there's some people who think it's about subscribers. It really isn't. You can have 10,000 subscribers, but then, you know, maybe your videos aren't still not doing well because there's not many people watching them or pressing the thumbs up button. So that's where that comes from. So thanks again for those who support me. That go ahead and press the thumbs up button. Now, for those who are watching on TV, I understand there are many viewers who watch my videos on TV, which is actually the perfect way to view them. I understand that there's no way to comment. I don't even know if you can do the thumbs up button on your TV. I'm not sure on YouTube app. I would have to check that out myself. But anyway, I'm just happy you guys are watching. What videos do people typically like on my channel? Well, I can tell you the videos that do the best time and time again are the train show tour videos. People just love them. When I go to the train shows, I show what's for sale. I show the vendors' tables. I do interviews with a couple of vendors, showing layouts. And people really like that. They really get into it's like I'm taking them to the train show. I guess you get that feel that we're going to the train show together. And that's what that's always been the motto of Dakman Productions. It's almost like being there, and that's how I like to shoot my videos. What advice would you give a small YouTube channel? Well, that could be a tough one, because you know when I started out, it was rough. It was tough, but I would have to say, make sure you're having fun doing this. Make sure you're not doing this for thinking that, okay, I'm going to be a millionaire at this, and you're not. Let me just tell you right now, unless you got 100,000 subscribers, you're not even close to making a lot of money. But, you know, do it for the fun. Don't do it because people are pushing you into it. Do videos that you enjoy, that you like. Do things that you're comfortable with and that you're good at. So, like for me, I don't like reviewing things that much, but I do like the history behind certain things that I get. So, when I get something new, instead of going over, you know, look at these handrails, look at these, I mean, I've done a couple review videos, but I just couldn't get into them. But I could get into the historical part of it. Hey, this piece was really for real. This is when it was used. This is when the dates that it ran, or it's still in service today, or what happened to it, or it went from this company to that company, and this is what it is today. So I love the history behind that. So I focus on stuff like that, as well as, you know, Conrail era stuff, and showing stuff that I get, and doing train runs. I have a tendency to also, even if somebody has already reviewed something, everybody's got their own take on how they want to review something. So when I buy something new, again, I'm not doing it a full review of it. Instead, I'm going to go to the historical side of it. Another thing is avoid YouTube burnout. Don't think you have to upload a video every day or every week or to be successful. Be patient growing your channel, because if you try to do it too fast, then you can make mistakes or push people away. Is there a best time to upload to a YouTube channel? Well, I'm sure that's different for every channel. For me, I found that my videos do best if I do a Sunday or Saturday upload, generally right around between the times of 1 and 4 p.m. Now, if I have several videos, I'll spread them out. depend on how many videos I have. So if I have like 4 videos, I'll spread them out every 2 hours. They're going to get up scheduled. And then I'll start them at 12 instead. So I'll do one at 12, one at 2, one at 4, and the last one will be at 6. If there's any more, I will not upload anything after 6 o'clock. Because it's just, in my opinion, it's too late. I'll start all over on Sunday. Now if it's a Monday, if I'm late or behind on videos, no biggie. So I'll schedule them for Monday, usually right around 3 to 4 o'clock. I won't schedule them too early because people are working. So I'll schedule them right around to be starting at 3. And again, if there's more than one, it'll be odd hours. It'll be 3 and 5. I don't usually do more than 2 during a weekday. Next question is, what's your opinion between Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts? Well, quite honestly, I'm old-fashioned, so Instagram, I just use it for photos and promotion. You know, here's Dakman, picture of Dakman, he's running Trainz, or at the Greenberg Trainz show, stuff like that. I haven't I don't think I've done a reel on, maybe one reel on Instagram, but even the YouTube Shorts, I've done a few YouTube Shorts. I understand what YouTube's doing, or trying to compete with TikTok, but and I can see, you know, that the Shorts do get subscribers, if anything else. But it's not my favorite thing either. I really don't like Shorts. I don't really like the way the camera's laid out like this. I guess I'm just too old-fashioned. It just doesn't make sense to me. I rather concentrate on regular videos, whether they're 15-minute to I've done them as long as 2 hours. So when you get, in my mind, when you get into an hour to 2 hour long video, it's no longer a video, now it's a movie. So I like to concentrate on videos and movies rather than doing shorts. What's the oldest train that I run? Well, the oldest train that I run that I really enjoy is my MPC era Lionel GG1 Penn Central locomotive. And for those who may or may not know, I actually have 2 layouts. So I have Carnegie Rail, the Legacy layout, and then I have my MPC era Lionel layout. So I actually had 2 different layouts. I have made a run called the Penn Central Emerald Express, and I made a video on that, and actually put together a Penn Central train, and I named it the Emerald Express. And in my opinion, that's a train set that Lionel probably should have made back in the MPC era. It's just a fun train for me. Okay, now for the big one. This one was never asked, but I'm going to ask it, and I think it's going to be interesting for my viewers. So here it goes. Whew. Oh man. I'm a little bit nervous about this question, even to myself. So, was it easy starting to do train show tour videos? And no, it was not. I mean, I make it look easy on video. I just, breeze along, and I'm shooting this, and I'm shooting that, this table, these vendors are talking to me, this vendor's doing an interview with me. But when I first started doing these tours, it wasn't that easy. In the beginning, when I first started doing it, I got the idea to do these tours, and I started doing them. There was a little bit of pushback from at first, which I could understand why. a little bit later on. So, but meaning that the vendors did not understand what I was doing. It's like I got hit with questions. Well, what are you doing? Why are you shooting video of this? What are you going to do with it? Who are you? And, you know, so I had to gather my thoughts and make a plan to how I'm going to approach this. And the last thing that you want to do at a video or at a train show is say, well, this is a public place, so I can take video what I want. And I didn't want to go there. You see a ton of YouTube channels, not train related, but other YouTube channels that do videos, and that's what they do. They just say that they're allowed to do it, and then they get into an argument, and I didn't want to get myself into that situation. So I had to figure out, you know, how to get past all that. And so, you know, it wasn't easy getting past that. I've had people or vendors say, you know, again, what are you doing? I had a couple ask me, you know, who are you? You know, we're a little skeptical because of theft, and so I can understand that. Another one, you know, see me videoing, and they're like, oh, well, no, this is stolen. It's all legit. And, you know, thinking I'm a detective, I guess. I had other vendors accuse me, oh, are you the tax man and using this for evidence? And it's like, no. So how did I overcome all this? So basically, this is advice for those who are thinking about starting this. So I have business cards. I made up business cards. It's got my name, it's got who I am, and it has my phone number. So when I got hit by, hey, are you trying to steal this? Well, they didn't come out and say that, but, you know, we're afraid of theft. Or, hey, this is not stolen. Or, hey, the taxes, we have a tax ID number. I give them my card. I'm like, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is my phone number. This is my email address. It's on my card. And I explain to them I have a YouTube channel. I put this stuff up there. People watch it, and they buy from you. And they were skeptical at first. They're like, So what I did is I decided to concentrate on the vendors who I knew really well first. And so, like Just Trainz, Star Hobby, I knew them pretty well. So they had no problem with me filming their booths. And then I would pick a vendor here and there, film them, and then they would come up to me the next show, hey, did you include my video or my booth? I go, yeah. He was, I got sales from your video. Then he would start talking to other people, and the word would spread. And then the word kept spreading more and more. And as time went on, I got to do more vendors without any, you know, because they know who I am. And if I ran into a vendor that didn't know who I was, I handed them my card again. This is who I am. This is what I do. And you get sales from this. And if you don't believe me, just ask these people over here and these people over there. They'll tell you. And then it got to be more and more and more. And now I pretty much can go to a train show, and if there's a new vendor who doesn't know who I am and they're all sketchy, there's plenty of other ones that say, oh, that's just Dakman. He'll get you sales on a video. And there's been plenty of times where people like Pete Costas come up to me, Star Hobby, and other places such as Just Trainz, you know, that actually made sales from my videos. I even done I had a vendor come up to me. I was doing a live feed. He had no idea I was doing a live stream. And a guy from Washington State actually called during my live stream saying he wanted this train. The store, he called the store. The store calls this guy, the vendor who's at the train show. He's like, he goes, well, this train is here at the show with me. He goes, he knows that, but he wants it. He goes, well, how does he know that it's here? He goes, he's seeing it live on YouTube. It blew him away. So he jumped on board. It was Seaside Hobbies. So he's on board with, me shooting videos of his stuff. So now these vendors know they became comfortable knowing who I am and what I was doing. I was actually trying to help them. And so now they fully understand that I'm there to help them. And actually we help each other. I help them get stuff sold, and the videos help me get views on my channel. So it's a win-win situation, and they realize that now. But it was a lot to build their trust up to. That's what I'm doing, and still you will get people who do not want their stuff on video, and that's fine. I'm okay with it, and I just apologize, sorry, and I move on to the next person. Now, as far as the interviews, that was another one to get past. So I did a lot of practicing with Stu Rankins from Mecca. And basically interviewing Stu a lot at first, so people could see, the vendors could see my interactions with him. And I always, now they know, the vendors know that when I interview them, I'm not going to put them on the spot. I'm not going to ask them controversial things about our hobby. I'm going to keep things positive, and when I interview them, it's going to be about them and what they're selling, and try and promote them in a positive way. That's why I, been able to get interviews with Train World, Mr. Muffins, or even Atlas O. I got interviews with Hangs Trains, the Train Shop Weekly crew. So they know when I go to interview them, it's going to be about them and the positive side. So once again, it was pretty much a matter of building trust with the vendors. So when they see me, oh yeah, Dakman, okay, yeah. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of them were pretty nervous about getting interviewed because they weren't sure. And I reassured them, I'm like, look, if there's anything that happens, I can edit it out. If something you want edited out, I can do that. And, to build that trust with them, to know that I will edit that part out that they don't want in there, that accidentally got in there. And so it was, a lot of work building the trust with them. And even the ones who were nervous at first, after the interview, was like, oh, wow, that wasn't that bad after all. Because I made it about them. I made it fun. And I interact with them, and I'm asking questions. Because I know enough about this hobby and what's going on, and about different things that keep the conversation going and keep it positive and keep them focused on what we're trying to accomplish by promoting them. So that's been my ventures into doing train show tour videos. It's gotten easier today. Yes, it has. Now they say, come on over, make sure you get my booth in for this show. So now they have me come over. They call me over to their booth to shoot video. So now they know it's a promotional thing for them. So I've held you guys up enough on the YouTube meet and greet Q&A. Again, thank you for your support for Dakman Productions. Kinda Hey Real. And hopefully I'll have something up and running for a video in the next week or two. Still got some lighting to do, and I want to do some more scenery work down here during the summertime. And also, I'm a truck diesel guy by trade. So I work on the Kenworth and Peterbilts. I'm not talking about pickup trucks. I'm talking about real trucks, because I cannot stand working on pickup trucks. I like working on Peterbilt, Kenworth, you know, the big stuff. And so I normally during the summertime I'm going to truck shows. I've been to fire truck shows, and yeah, I've gotten that stuff on video too. You can go back on my channel. I got different playlists. I believe there's a playlist called Trucks with Dakman, where I've been to Macungie, the South Jersey Truck Show. There's also, I believe I put the fire truck show in with that too. So for those who like fire trucks, I got the fire truck parade coming out where they're blowing their sirens and horns and stuff. It's kind of cool. But yeah, I like doing different things during the summertime. But anyway, I'll catch you guys later, and we'll catch you trackside. Goodbye.